What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another Chop Shop Weekly presented to you by all our wonderful sponsors. My co-host Jason Day and your host Brad Dove. How you doing, Jason?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing good. Happy Memorial Day weekend to everybody in the United States. And I don't know if you guys celebrate north of the border, do you?
We don't celebrate Memorial Day here. We have our long weekend was last weekend for Victoria Day. I guess it celebrates the Queen, but we're not so super associated with her anymore. But yes, happy Memorial Day to everyone. And we do celebrate troops here as well. We just don't have a day for it like you guys do. So yeah, happy Memorial Day to everybody down there, and hopefully everybody had a good weekend.
Yeah, it was a pretty good weekend. Just had some barbecue around here and, had a pretty good weekend ourselves. We didn't have too much action this past week. We had the truck series, we had the truck series and, it was the only series running. What did, what do you think about that?
It was a good race, all in all. With the Truck Series, it was good long green flag runs. I think there was only 6 cautions in the race. Nate Biggert came off with pulled off another win. Wasn't the most dominant truck all night, which was good to see. There's lots of competition in the league right now. Lots of pitch strategy. Cautions played a big key in that race. Mark Jorgensen dominated the first half of the race. Looked like he was the guy to beat the whole race. And late pitch strategy changed a lot for him. But some really good trucks in that race, and lots of guys leading. I think there was at least 10 lead changes in that race. So multiple guys led laps. You know, the normal guys: Nate, Brandon Banks, Eric Schaefer, Fred Chase led some laps. It was good to see him running up front. There was lots of good guys.
Yeah, we got a couple of clips from that race. The stage was pretty good, it looked like a pretty good race from what I was able to go back and watch. I was not able to make the race, but yeah, this is the stage here. Jorgensen walking away with it by like 5 seconds.
Yeah, he was super dominant, especially early. Shout out to Jorgensen too. He had the opportunity to pass Jason Hastings there with a few laps to go, and he was just stayed behind him. Obviously, he had a 5 second lead. He didn't need to push, but he was able to let Jason stay on the lead lap early in the race.
Yeah, you had Banks, Schaefer, Coleman, Katina, Dalton, Hartung, Kogar, Green, Newbarb, and then Biggert ended up rounding out the top 12 after starting deep in the field. Was it hard to pass?
It was very hard to pass, and the tire wear didn't work the way I thought it was going to. I was on the radio with Nate during that run, and he thought for sure that he could save and then make a good run up to the front in that first stage like he normally does, and he couldn't gain at all. He gained up to the top 10 somewhere around there, and then he just got flat, couldn't gain anymore. And Jorgensen just seemed to be getting faster and faster that first run. And clean air, I think, played a huge key in that. Talking to Nate later, he said once he got out front in that race that the clean air was a totally different thing, and the truck would turn, do all the things you wanted. And Brandon said in his post-race interview that the dirty air, there was no way he could get within 3/10 of Nate, and then he couldn't gain anymore with the dirty air.
How many cautions y'all have?
I think there
Do
was
you
seven
remember?
seven total. I think it
7
wasn't.
total?
I think and it wasn't. That wasn't. I think it was one with the stage and then 6 other cautions.
We actually have one of the cautions that was happening. It ended up being with John Hammond, and I don't. Oh, it was John Hammond and the 30. Here's a little replay of that.
John just drove it in there. I think on that one was. I think he was expecting the 30 Holyfield to start moving down the track, and he just didn't. I think Holyfield was keeping the high line on that entry there, and John misjudged the corner. He had a good run and caught the right rear
Yeah,
corner of Holyfield.
that's definitely what it looks like. You know,
Nothing, it didn't look like anything intentional. Just looked like miscues and a drive racing incident of guys thinking they were going different directions.
definitely. So the race continued on. It was a pretty long race for Rockingham. You guys were doing your thing, and tell me about the closing stage. It was pretty. What was it? It was a 150 lap race, 200 lap race, wasn't it?
200 lap race, I'm pretty sure.
So 200
Most of
lap race, stage of
most of
50.
yeah, stage of 50. A lot of guys took their last set of tires. I think right around 120, just after 120, we could go almost 80 laps on fuel and tires. I think that's what a lot of the guys did. That's where Jorgensen, for some reason, he didn't pit on one of the pit stops, and he didn't take tires. and that's where he lost. Impressively enough, where he finished with the tires that he had, but I don't. The tires were a huge difference. Nate was able to take tires on one of those pit stops. I think he waited till a little bit later. I can't remember what lap it is. I wish I was better at this right now. I think 120 is when most of the guys took, and then there was a quick caution just after that, and that's when Nate and a few others, myself included, took tires. I didn't have the truck to make it up through the field, but Nate was able to get out front and stay. A few other guys were able to move up, and Fred Chase was another one late. He led some laps, like I mentioned earlier. Pat Green, another quality start and finish. He was really strong at the end. Brandon, of course, as well. I think Colby was back there again, even involved in an instant. He was making it back through the field.
So
Not sure.
tires were a big thing, even
They
though the
were.
track was it's the newer surface, is what
Yeah,
you
the
would
newer
like to
surface
say.
definitely played havoc. Tires were a thing. They were a thing and they weren't a thing, because it seemed like on that first run, Jorgensen, the tires didn't matter. He just could run away, and nobody could catch him, no matter how much they were saving. But felt like later on, the tires definitely did make a difference. And finding some lines, Nate said he had to pick and choose and kind of figure it out as he went. And he, the once, like you said, the clean air got out front, and he was able just to maintain and keep Brandon off of him.
So compared to the last time we've been at this track, like we've come to this track a couple of previous times. Last season we came to this track. Compared to last season to this season, this time, do you feel a big difference? Was it like harder to drive, like different?
Yeah, I found the old. Yeah, I did find it harder to drive. It was harder to figure out how hard you had to run it into the corner, how much you could get off. The truck seemed tighter this year than it did last year and years before. I think the surface, obviously more grip with the new asphalt. There's no lines on the track, so it's harder to see, where your line is going to be. The truck definitely was different. Like, we ran the ARCA car there not too long ago, and it felt like the ARCA car could turn really well on that track. It had good grip. We did run at night, so that was a little bit different. I think the daytime played havoc as well. Yeah, I don't. It's definitely, it took a lot of getting used to it. The 52 truck, we weren't good at all. Lots of, some guys struggled, and some guys were just really good. I couldn't believe some of the speed that some of the guys were carrying through the center of the corner. I found it too tight to be able to do that. So whatever they were doing, hats off to them.
Very hats off to him. That's a difficult track. It's a driver's track, in my opinion. I've tested there. It's a lot of drivers. It's not all about, how do I say it? It's not about speed at the same time. It is about speed.
Yeah, it was definitely about consistent laps. The bottom seemed to be where you needed to be for really long runs. Jorgensen never left the bottom for the first half of the race, and nobody could keep up to him. But later on, like I said, the pit strategies changed, and different guys got out front, and they were able to hold. But there was different lines. Fred Chase seemed to run the middle. Nate kind of ran the bottom and the top a bit. Brandon Banks led 28 laps. Again, another strong run for him. He was able to stay on the bottom. He seemed to be the one who backed off the corners earlier than anybody. Super smooth, super easy on the tires. I think that race plays on a little longer. Brandon actually might win contention to win that one. I think he had the best long run pace out of anybody over besides Jorgensen on fresh tires.
So a little bit of recap of the whole race. It was the race had 6 cautions for 20 laps, 13 different lead changes. The highest laps led was 78. Tyler Dalton led 11 laps. Chad Coleman led 11 laps. Fred Chase led 12 laps. Striker also got in there and led a couple laps. A couple of good runs by Brian Workman and Raccoon, also Retchen. Those are pretty standout guys, all having good runs, even though they're not up front. It's good runs for them. They actually finished the race. A lot of them have had bad luck. Like Mark's had some bad luck over the
For
course of
sure.
a couple of weeks, and seeing them guys having good luck and finish the race is awesome.
Yeah, and Wortman's a guy that I think you're going to see pull off a win this season. In my opinion, he's an ex crew chief, NASCAR crew chief. He's a good driver. He's clean. He understands long runs, and I feel like if we get in a race where we got really good runs, really good long runs, and the pitch strategy works for him, he could be a guy that's up front, because he went up and down a little bit in that race. But when we got on a long stretch, he was able to come back up to the field. He was super, super good on long runs. So I think a tire wear race, Wortman is a guy that could be in contention for a win.
We've also got a clip of the last 4 laps coming up for you here, real quick. Here's the last 4 laps of the race. You got Nate Biggert leading with Banks about 1.5 back. there's Jorgensen a lap down.
Yeah, pit strategy did not work well for him. He got himself a lap down due to the new tires and such fall off for him with on old super old tires.
Yeah, it seemed like it got stretched out a little bit based on looking at the leaderboard, and Kogar's 19 seconds back. You're what, running 32-second laps there, 31-second laps, and it's a little bit stretched out. Nate, heck of a job coming from the back, having a hard charger at that. That's a very big accomplishment to start in the back and go up there and win.
Yeah, for sure. He was strong. He would work for it though. Like it wasn't like he was a normal Nate night where he knew he was the fastest truck and he could get through the field and then just run away with it. He had to change his strategy. He had to work at it. He didn't think he was had anything for Jorgensen or even for like Banks ran well. A lot of those guys, it was a lot of work for Nate to get to where he needed to be. And once, like he said, once he got into clean air, then it was just to run away from it. Then the clean air definitely played a huge factor with the trucks.
So that's that. Nate Biggert, congrats on that win.
His
You did
fourth win of the
phenomenal.
season for
Fourth
Nate.
win
Yeah.
of the season too. Yeah, that's phenomenal. Very very big.
Couple weird incidents in that race too. There was a few penalties that were a little weird, and then there was a couple connection issues that caused some weird wrecks. I don't know if you have a clip of that, but
No,
there
I do
was
not.
a Hayden Malcolm lost connection and was able to come back into the race, and his car was basically like a ghost car. You could see it barely. It was kind of blinking in and out, and he ended up taking out a car partway through the race. And Jason didn't even pick it up on his broadcast. He thought that the person had downshifted down the straightaway and spun it out, but it was actually Hayden Malcolm's car who was disappearing and reappearing that took the car out in the replay. So it was a little weird and too bad for Hayden. He with the connection issue, he had a really good run last week, and we had talked about him making a good run, finishing in the top 10 last week, but then bad luck struck again for this week, and same with Anthony Crownover. Crownover had connection issues as well, which he's been struggling with all season. And Crownover is one of those guys, as we know, is super strong every week, in no matter what he's racing. He may ruffle some feathers sometimes, but he's always fast and he's up there, up front. So look for him to be good next week or this week as well when we get to Talladega. He's a good guy to push with.
So your top three to begin with was Nate Biggert again, Brandon Banks, Pat Green, Eric Schaefer, Kobe Harton, Michael Newberg, Joe Hudson, Joseph Consi, R.B. Turner, Logan Kroger. I believe you rounded out the top 11, if I'm correct.
I did. I got my little rant. I'm going to do like Jason Day driver etiquette rant right at this moment. But Logan Kogar and I were having a wonderful battle for 10th place, and I reeled him in, and we were battling it out. And then we had with about 5 laps to go, I think maybe 5 or 6 laps to go, we had a car that was 3 laps down, decide to slide job between the two of us with brand new tires and messed up my run and Logan's a little bit. So just my little rant. If it's less than 5 to go or 2 to go and you're multiple laps down, just leave the lead lap guys alone and let them race, especially if they're going for a position. But not mad about it. I mean, I've been there too. And if you're fighting for a lucky dog or something, that's one thing, but just let those lead lap cars finish it out with those last 4 or 5 laps to go.
So talking about cautions and stuff, we've got the Dove Bomb Award that we normally do. We need to get that up real quick. Waiting on that.
Waiting on our new producer.
Yes, our new producer.
Welcome to Michael
Welcome.
Bollinger as our new producer, and we've brought him on this week to help us out. So here he goes. He's starting off.
We give the Dove Bomb to Alex Thompson. He got into it with the 19, running 30th, and took out the second place guy. From what I understand, he said he's sorry, which he does a lot, but sorry doesn't make up for it when you're taking out top guys. He claimed it, and it happens.
It's unfortunate because Tyler was strong as well, and that Tyler's one of those guys that is strong every week and he races clean. So it's unfortunate that happened to him.
Yeah, it's very unfortunate. We're going to go right into the hard charger, which would be Nathan Biggert. Nathan came from 27th to first, 26 positions gained. Like we said earlier, a heck of an accomplishment. It wasn't easy. It was hard to pass, like you said, but very good job, and big win to Nate.
Yeah, he did Nate things that race. He was able to late in the run, he was able to go 2, 3 wide a couple times and get passes around lap cars to gain some track position and put some dirty air on some guys behind him. So good on Nate for a guy who, he felt like he stole that win. He wasn't the fastest all night, but he was the fastest at the end, and that's all that matters.
Well, that's a wrap on what has happened. Do we want to no, we're gonna go ahead and we've got the
Gonna talk a little bit about a few guys that we don't
yeah,
really talk
the
about.
few guys, yep.
We're gonna talk about a few of the guys that are a little bit further back in the field, the 15th to 25. Just let me bring up my stuff here so I can see it in front of me right now. So yeah, so I'm looking at some guys to see some trends to see what's going to happen, what guys are going to be moving up, what guys are moving back and forth right now, and trying to get up into that top 16 in points for the point season. Our biggest movers this week, Pat Green, biggest mover, he +3 in points to 16th after a podium finish at Rockingham. Joe Hudson also up 3 spots from 25th, gaining momentum. Brian Rayburn went up 2 spots to 24th, so another good run for him. Myself, I moved up 1 spot. I'm now 21st. I'm almost in that top 20 dub. I maybe make it there
Yeah.
eventually. We'll see how things go. See how things go tomorrow. Rincon went up 1 spot for 23rd. He's continuing to steadily climb. He's fast every week, but unfortunately has bad luck or gets himself into some situations sometime. But he's always a truck that's a top 10 speed guy most nights. Just tends to get himself in trouble a little bit, or something happens to him. He has bad luck. The biggest droppers of this week were Connor Hazel and Jerry Culver. They both dropped 3 spots. Clint Hackett, Craig Parks dropped 1. Speaking of Craig, though, he's been new guy to the league, has some bad luck here and there, but he's been continually getting faster and faster. I see him being a guy that's going to be a consistent top 15, top 10 guy. He's part of the DBR team with the Drinking Brothers Racing. So Eric Schaefer, Brandon Banks, those guys are good guys to learn from. And if you're going to be associated with that team, you're going to get faster every week. I see Newbrow finished in the top 10 this week, so he's getting faster with those guys every week. So DBR is one of the teams to look out for in all the series. So I see Craig Parks as a guy who's going to get faster every week. Brian Wertman holding consistent in 15th. Like I said earlier, he's my prediction to come off to be really good, probably a top 10 guy as the season progresses and maybe get a win just with his long strategy. Wesley Straight and myself are battling for that top 20 spot. And there's only between 15th and 20th spot, there is only 44 points that separate those 5 spots. So there's quite a battle happening right now. So it's close. That top 15 to 20 can shake it up over the next couple of weeks, especially with a wild card at Talladega this week coming up.
Does that mean you have a chance to crack the top 15 maybe if you have a good
There's
run at Talladega?
there is a potential that I could, well, maybe not the top 15, but yeah, if I pulled off a win, yeah, but I could probably put myself in the top 15 this week, or at least just outside the top 15 with a win. I don't think I'll ever get a win at a plate track here unless I have somebody like you pushing me at the end, but we'll see how it goes. I'm going to try to play it smart tomorrow and hope for a good run. But yeah, so those are our 15 to 25 and some guys that we need to focus on, and we'll look at some other guys next week, but keep your eye on a few of those guys. Pat Green, Fred Chase, Clint Hackett, Wesley Straight, those guys are up and coming, and I know my co-host here, Brad Dove, is just outside the top 21. I think you're 22nd or 24th in points or something like that. So you're going to get up there, but you missed a race last week, so you dropped a little bit. But hopefully you get back when you're feeling better now, and you'll be back and running up front again.
We're excited about tomorrow. Let's go right into that. We got Talladega coming up tomorrow. It's a fun track to race at. It's one of my favorites. I like the drafting tracks. They're always exciting. You gotta play strategy there a little bit because you don't want to be in the big one, but you also have a faster pair, which you
Right.
don't want to use too early, but you also want to try to save till later. You never know how guys are going to race early on. It could string out. It could be a big old pile up the first couple laps. It's all about a little bit of strategy, and it's also about luck. We go into these drafting tracks hoping not to get wrecked and hoping everybody has their head on their shoulders, which, at this point in the season, you hope everybody is used to racing around each other, which a lot of them are starting to. And yes, we're getting some new guys here and there, but for the most part, everybody's used to racing around each other. So it should be a good race. What do you think?
I think so. The fast repair definitely plays a factor. Personally, me, I'm not a big fan of it. I'd like to see it gone, even on our plate tracks. Am I a fan of it if I need it because I get wrecked in the first 10 laps? Yeah, absolutely. So I have a second chance. I just think it brings the aggression out in the race a little bit early, guys knowing that they have that fast repair. I think it makes people a little bit more aggressive. I think if we took it off, I know it'll never happen, but if we took it off the series, I think that would, or those drafting track races, I think we would have better racing. Unfortunately, we still have the big one either way, but that's real. That's racing. We want a sim situation. That to me, that's a sim situation. But yeah, Talladega is always fun. It's fun to draft. You get caught in the big one. It's still fun either way because you had a good time drafting up through the pack. There's always that late run from Brad Dove on the high side trying to pass everybody and just sticking it in there. So that's always exciting to have. I expect a lot of aggression too early tomorrow, and I hope I'm wrong. There's a few new guys in the league that I know that are going to push the issue. I'm not going to say any names, but there's a highest incident rate in the Truck Series right now, and it belongs to a certain driver that I've mentioned a couple times in the podcast, and I'm expecting him to probably cause a couple more big ones tomorrow night. So Logan Kogar, if you're out there, make me a liar that you're not going to be the one that caused the big one tomorrow. And yeah, I think it's going to be a really good race. That look for the teams to do well. DBR should do really well. I don't expect them to even see them up front for the first. I forget how many laps it is tomorrow, but for the first 40 so laps, you won't see Brandon Banks, Eric Schaefer, Newbrow, any of those guys, even at the front. They'll be probably in that 25th to 35th position, just hanging around the back like they normally do, and then they'll push to the front. The Colby Hartung, Pat Green, Wesley Strait, those three seem to draft really well, and Nate seems to flock to them a little bit. So look for them to be good. Fred Chase is always a good guy that's on the plate tracks. I think he's had a plate track win from last season. Brad Dove is a good plate guy, pushes really well. Mark Retchin, always fast at these tracks. Look for him or Rayburn to have the pole tomorrow. That's my prediction. Retchin or Rayburn to have the pole. And I'm not sure about the new guys. So Austin Johnson, Tyler Dalton, Gatina, those guys are all Sim 500 guys. So look for them to be probably working together and pushing up through the field. And then myself with my lone little driver, I'll probably get pushed by whoever's around and probably get wrecked by halfway, but hopefully we can make it through the race.
Well, hopefully you have a better race than Daytona. With a little help of our friendly thing called AI, we have a couple of predictions. Kobe Hartung's predicted to be the pole winner. Actually,
Goalie's always good, always fast there too. Yeah,
he's always fast. He's 24 points behind Biggert in the standings right now. The pole pick for AI is actually Tyler Dalton. So, no, the projected winner is Kobe Hartung. The pole winner is Tyler Dalton. Correct myself. Sorry about that.
yeah. I don't know if I believe AI in that one. If any other track, I believe that, but this drafting track, I think you're going to see Colby Retchin or Brian Rayburn as the guy with the pole this week.
It's also predicting Mark Jorgensen Jr. to be the hard charger. The most instances, looking it's looking like Alex Thompson is going to be our most incidents forecasted. Alex is sitting at 118 instances and 1,253 laps completed, which is a rate of 0.94 per lap. One of the highest among drivers in our field right now in the truck series.
Almost one per lap. That's a lot. So Alex, if you watch this, we love you, buddy, but maybe let's try to get those incidents down a little.
Well, the next highest incident count, it's actually kind of funny. Connor Hazel's tied with him. Then I'm going to throw myself under the bus. I'm sitting there not too far behind. Then you got John Hammond, Joe Hudson, Wesley, Biggert, and Logan Krogar's actually sitting down there a little bit. You want to pick on Logan a little bit about his incidences, but he's not that bad, actually.
Oh, well, I could show you the AI prediction about who's most likely, and the AI prediction that Stryker had sent me was Logan. Unfortunately, it was or the cause to cause the most chaos. It wasn't necessarily to have the most incidents, but to cause the most chaos.
Drivers who can gain the most out of this restricted plate race, they're predicting Michael Strickland to have a pretty good gain out of this. Banks, Pat Green, Jason Day, you can gain a lot, and John Hammond, you can flip several spots in one night of racing. It's something that we can look forward to tomorrow night. That will be streamed on Signature Esports if you guys are interested in watching that. We got a give a shout out to our boy Jason. Without his help, we don't get to give you some of these clips. We got permission to grab some of our clips off his videos, and we want to give a huge shout out to Signature Esports and all he does for Chop Shop. He does a fantastic job of broadcasting us, putting us out there to you guys and letting you guys be able to see our races.
Absolutely. Jason's fantastic. His broadcasts are great. And yeah, he does our league and a bunch of others. He's busy 7 days a week. So yeah, give Jason a check out his Signature Esports on Facebook or YouTube or Twitch, and give him a like and share, and help support our league and Jason at the same time. Just one other thing, just so I can clear up the air here. I'm not picking on Logan Kogars, just so we can say this right now. Logan, if you're watching this, you were one of the fastest guys I've ever seen. I want you to do really well. You're unbelievable, dude. So just try to keep it clean, and prove me wrong, and don't be the guy who causes all the chaos.
So who's your pick for tomorrow?
My pick for tomorrow, this is a tough one because it's a plate track. I look to see, I'm going to say Fred Chase leads a bunch of laps. He's super aggressive at these tracks, always seems to be able to get up front. Fred Chase leads a bunch. Logan, I think, is going to be up there as well. I'm not sure about a couple of guys, I think like Austin Johnson, those guys, if he shows up, he'll be there around the front. Tyler as well. My predicted win, though, isn't any of those guys. It'll probably be, I don't even want to say it, but I think Colby Hartung is probably going to pull off the win tomorrow. He seems to be at the right place at the right time, pushes very well at these tracks. If he hooks up with Nate, Wesley, or Pat, I think Colby or Nate could be the guys up front. My second prediction would be probably either second or third, maybe pull off a win, would be Brandon Banks and Eric Schaefer working well together up front. And then there's always the striker factor, or Mark Retchen. Mark Retchen always seems to be right there at the end of these races. So going with some of the regulars, the regular Chop Shop guys to be there. But yeah, Colby Hartung, Mark Retchen, or maybe a Brandon Banks could be there at the end.
I'm going to join you in saying one of the Storm Racing guys between Pat Green, Wesley, or Colby Hartung. They work great at these drafting tracks. I think they can do a heck of a job. Hopefully they have a good run. That's my top pick. My second pick would be Mark Retchen, and my sleeper pick would be probably Stryker or Nathan Biggert. The cream always rises to the top of these tracks, and it's all about luck and avoidance, and they're pretty good. They're at the top for a reason, and I'll even throw you up in the top three. I don't want to jinx you, but
well, I guarantee I get up there early, but when it comes down to the end, I get left high and dry, and I don't know if I have any friends or if nobody likes me in this league, but I seem to get left at these tracks. But yeah, and I'm gonna count one other guy that's always good at these plate tracks. He seems to be super fast and he's super aggressive and never seems to get too much trouble. But it's our league owner, John Hammond, who is always good at these tracks. So expect the 55 truck to be up there if he's racing tomorrow. Hopefully he's not racing and doing race control, because that's going to be tough to do at Talladega and try to be in the draft and clear black flags. But yeah, Stryker and Hammond, if those guys get together, look for them to be good. Stryker seems to be the magician to pulls wins out of his hat. So yeah, it could be anybody. And I think the old Dove Bomb, Brad Dove himself, is going to be up there in the top 5. That's my pick. You're finishing top 5.
It'd be nice to have a top 5, coming off from the kidney stones. We're finally feeling better, it's very nice to be feeling better.
Glad you're feeling better.
Don't ever have kidney stones. Trust me, they hurt like a son of a gun. Let's roll right into the Xfinity. They had a great week at Kansas. We didn't talk too much about it on the last podcast, but we did give a little bit of a shout out to Tyler, who had a win. They're going into Bristol this upcoming week. Bristol. They're going into Bristol on the 30th on Saturday. Bristol's a very good track for a lot of good drivers. What do you see happening there?
I expect to be a fair amount of cautions early in that race. Bristol is improving. It's gone from being top dominated, which it has been for the last couple of years, back down to being able to race at the bottom and at the top. You'll save tires at the bottom. Long green flag runs, I'm going to go with my last week's winner, pick Tyler Lemon again. I think that Tyler has a different switch. I think he has a switch that when the playoffs came in, that he just says, you know what, I don't need to sit back now. I'm going to win this championship. So look for Tyler to be good on long runs. I don't expect him to lead early. He's a bit of a strategy guy. He'll sit back, wait for some things to happen, and he'll make a pitch strategy call that puts him out front, and he will lead that race, I think. Some other really good short track guys, though, in that race. I think I think Clint will do well at Dover if he shows up. John Hammond will be good as well. Workman, another guy that I think just from prior NASCAR experience understands how this track works, understands how not to overdrive it. So Workman could have a good run. Winker, same thing, all good runs. But I still think Tyler Lemon wins this race just because he's flicked the switch into overdrive now and gonna dominate this playoff and win this.
I think there could be some sleepers. Fred Chase being one of them. Kevin Winker.
Yeah, Fred's been fast at Bristol in multiple series. I agree with you there.
And got the point standings pulled up after Kansas. Tyler Lemon took a nice lead going into it, and he's extended it a little bit. He's up 15 points over Pat Green. Is 18 points? Yeah, it's 18 points over RB Turner. Then you got Jonathan Casebeer, 26 back. Robert Dudley, 27-36 back is Brian Wertman. You want to take it from there?
Yeah, and then we've got Fred Chase, 38 back. Winker is also 38 back. Brad Dove, oh, you're right there, Brad. Only 56 back. You can do this. Clint Hackett, 58. John Hammond, 58. And Blake Studley is now retired out of the championship. So a lot of close point battles between the 7th and 11th spot. I don't know when the cutoff is for this championship.
The cutoff is actually going to be in. You got 4 more races, so you got Bristol, Phoenix, Richmond, then Vegas.
Okay, so there could be a huge shakeup here because there's not a lot of points separating all these guys. So I see some shakeups happening.
That's the Xfinity Series. We're going to go right into the Cup Series. The Cup Series will be going to, where are they going this week? Homestead. We talked a little bit about that.
It's not my moonshine, by the way. It just looks like it.
You are feeling a little sick. It might help you.
Yeah, maybe.
We're going into Homestead. We did touch on this last week on our show. Just want to go a little bit further in depth on that. Were the points updated after?
Yes, they were.
Nashville? Yes, they were. Let me go ahead and share that for everybody. We had a pretty good race there in Nashville, like we said. Nate won that. No, who won
Tyler
that?
Dalton.
Tyler Dalton. That's right. Tyler Dalton won that.
And with that win, Tyler was able to take over first place in points. I dropped a spot, so I'm in second, but I'm still happy where I'm at.
Yeah, you dropped 1 spot, 8 points back. Then you got Stryker, Brandon Banks, Nathan Biggert, Brian Fine, Justice, David Amon, Craig Parks, Brian Rayburn. It's early over there in Cup Series still. We're still in the first half of the season. Where do you?
We're only 4 races in, so it's been a good start. I think Nathan Biggert in 5th spot's a little bit of a shock to us all. I think he'll be up there in no time. A couple more wins that pushes him way up. The bonus points for the win really make a huge difference in jumping up. I think Nate will be up in that close to that top spot probably after this week.
Even though we're only 4 races in, it's actually pretty close from 25th all the way up.
Mm-hmm.
It's not that tight. It's tight. So it's
with this point system, it stays fairly tight unless you get a win, and then those bonus points for the wins make a huge difference.
Like just between from 10th back to, we'll say 25th, it's only 44 points roughly.
Right.
So
lots of guys can do a lot of moving. It's so early in the season that you can't predict really anything right now, other than I know Nathan Biggert will be up towards the top. Tyler Dalton's going to be at the top, and Brandon Banks and Michael Stryker. I think those guys you'll see in the top 4 in points for the whole season long.
So do you have a different pick going into this week and then you said last week for Homestead?
My pick for Homestead was Tyler Dalton. I think this is I said before, he's a 6,600 I rating, and he said that this is his best track. So for a guy who won last week at Nashville and looked really good, and then for him to say, I wasn't expecting to win there because Homestead is my best track, I would say look out field if that's the fact that if he thinks he's better at this other track than he was last week. Although Nate wasn't there last week, I think you're going to see a wonderful battle between Nate and Tyler this week. And Brandon Banks is one of his better tracks as well. The guys that can run high do really, really well there. So I think you're going to see a Nate Biggert, Brandon Banks, Tyler Dalton battle for first place, and sleeper 5th place guy, probably Michael Stryker, potentially for a win if those guys kind of get into each other, hold each other up. I think those are the guys you're going to see up front that whole race.
Yeah, I want to give them or give Tyler Dalton a good shout out. You know, he's going to do pretty good there at Homestead. I feel he's going to be very difficult, a handful. I think Nate might come out on top on this one.
Mm-hmm.
But you also got Mark Jorgensen that can be a top runner there. We don't know what he's going to do and show up. Now he's going to show up. You got a couple other guys, Levi Allen, you know, Craig Parks could sneak one out. Joey Gattina, Eric Schaefer's good there. If Chris Justice doesn't burn his stuff up, I have him in my top 5.
Yeah, I don't have Chris in the top 5 here at Homestead. Chris tends to be a bottom feeding type racer. And Homestead tends to go in that long run up to the high groove type pace, and I don't see Chris doing that. That's where Nathan, Brandon, those guys kind of tend to be better towards the end. I agree though. Schaefer, I almost forgot that he's in the Cup Series now. It's a good track for him. Who else did you mention that was good? There was
Joey Gattina,
Jatina,
maybe
yeah, as well. Yeah, he could be good.
David Aitman, Brian
David
Pine.
Amon. Levi, I'm expecting a breakthrough race for Levi. It's 4 races in. It's basically 4 races in the Cup car for him. He's never raced these before, besides a few officials right now that he's doing just to try to get some practice in, but he's never run them. He's just learning them. He's been burning his stuff up. He's got quick speed in 10, 15 laps and then burns his stuff up because he's learning the car. I gave him a shout out last week and he sent me a message, so I'll give him another one this week. Known Levi for a long time and the kid can drive. He's a good racer. Once he figures this car out, he could be good. Yeah, couple other guys. I think Logan's here. I think Logan is one of those guys that can run the top line, so I expect him to be a top 5 guy as well.
My sleeper pick is going to be Joshua
Siegfried. Yeah, Siegfried. He's been super quick lately, and he was quick last week as well. So yeah, he seems to be improving in everything he's running right now. So he could be quite good next week.
So we'll look forward to that. We've had a little bit of difficulty in the NASCAR world. We lost a very good legend, Kyle Busch. We want to give a shout out to his family and his kids, Brexton and Lennox. You know, the NASCAR community, the racing community as a whole is mourning it, and our prayers are with him and his wife and his kids, her kids. You know, they they Braxton did a heck of a job just watching on TV yesterday. Uh, didn't see him shed a tear, which is hard for a kid. You know, Rowdy Nation forever. You know, Kyle Busch lost too soon.
Definitely lost. A legend already a legend, definitely a Hall of Famer, one of the greatest of all time. Most wins of all time through all 3 series, 234 wins, 69 in the Truck Series, 100 and I forget what it was, 100 and some in the O'Reilly Series, and 63 wins in the Cup Series. So obviously one of the best of all time. Ruffled feathers early in his career, made him fans, made people not like him. And as he matured, he gained more fans. He became a father, better. He just seemed to get better throughout his career. He struggled the last couple of years with RCR equipment, not because he couldn't drive, just a lack of setups and stuff in that system. But still, one of the greatest of all time. I was expecting him to win some more races. He did win a week ago at Dover in the Truck Series race. Yeah, it's sad. It's too soon. It's unfortunate, and definitely prayers go out to the Busch family. One of the greatest race car drivers of all time, gone way too soon.
Yeah, it's hard to see. You know, we all love him and hate him in different ways. Early on, I didn't like him. Didn't like him at all. Even though I'm a Hendrick fan, I did not like the kid. He was ignorant toward when he got to RCR. You know, I started to feel for the guy. I was hoping for a win in the last couple of years, and he won early with him. But this year he didn't win, and I think he was getting better, and he was coming into his zone, as Denny would say. He was starting to be more of himself because he was talking about himself.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that it's a big shout out to the NASCAR community. Our prayers are with you, and you know they to help ease the pain a little bit. You know, Suarez won yesterday.
Yes, yeah, and Suarez Kyle Busch had brought Suarez up. He ran for KBM Racing at one time, came up through the Gibbs program. Suarez, huge shout out with that win. That you could see the emotion in Daniel's face when he got that win. Pointed at the 8 on his hat, pointed at the sky. Gave a shout out to Kyle. I'm happy for Daniel for getting that win. He deserves it. Guy who got pushed out of a ride last year into a new ride that they didn't expect to do anything. And Spire is outperforming Trackhouse this year with 2 wins. Spire has 2 wins now with Hocevar and Suarez, and Trackhouse has 1 with Van Gunsberg at the Glen, but I wouldn't count that as a win over teams. But yeah, so good shout out to Suarez for getting that win in the number 7, which Kyle got his last win in number 7 in Truck Series the week before.
Yeah, it's very ironic, s- the Spire Motorsports shop is an old KBM
Right.
shop, that's very ironic. It just started to rain harder and harder as
As
Suarez was
Suarez took the lead.
leading,
Yeah, yeah.
it's like it
It
was
was
like
meant to be.
hinting at it and stuff, and it hinted at it, and it ended up happening, and you know, yeah, it happened. But like we were saying, you know, Spire Motorsports won, congrats to them. Hendrick Motorsports struggled, again, and you had the Toyotas really dominating that, it was kind of shocking that 2 tires actually prevailed there at the end a little bit, but not really so because you also had 2 tires go up and win a stage.
Yeah, I don't think the fall off was as huge in the short runs. 2 tires wouldn't be a big factor. Plus, with the weather the way it was, the rain and the cool temperatures, the inside tire didn't matter. It wasn't as hot, so I don't think they wore as much. So 2 tires was definitely a good call for a lot of those things. Yeah, the Toyotas were strong. Gibbs, Bell, those guys were really strong. Ryan Blaney finishes in the top 10 to keep up his consistency. Yeah, it was a good race all in all. The weather was unfortunate. I don't like seeing stuff end under red flag or yellow conditions, but it is what it is for the weekend. The Truck Series race ended under time. That was a little bit different. They were racing down to a timer, which was kind of funny to see. Lane Riggs wins that race. The O'Reilly's race, Ross Chastain wins that one on a rain shortened race where he's in front and waits to hear a call that's the race over, and he gets that win. So it's it was one of those weekends where everything finished under not normal conditions, but it wasn't a normal weekend after losing the legend of Kyle Busch.
How would you rate this past weekend for NASCAR? Would you like after all the chaos and the loss of Kyle Busch, like how would you rate it? Like, are you satisfied as a viewer?
Other than the O'Reilly race, I'm satisfied. The trucks race was good. The best Lane Riggs was the fastest truck that whole race. He deserved to win that race. Suarez, I think he did the right thing. I think he was the guy who deserved to win that race. Maybe not kept it if it ran all the way to the very type thing, but he was good enough to be there at that time, the right strategy. The O'Reilly's race was just the one that disappointed me and nothing NASCAR, no fault of anybody. You tried to get the race in, they tried to do it, but it was too dark. The track was too wet. The weather was terrible. They basically would run for a lap. They would crash and they would run around for 10, run for 2 more laps, crash, pace around for 10 more. So they didn't really get a run in. So it was really hard to see who was actually going to be good in that race. And they wrecked a lot of race cars for no reason when they could have had a race potentially waited till, today to run it or postpone it another day or something. But I just believe I know they tried to get it in. It was just, I think it was the wrong call. I was disappointed with that finish.
I think the reason they really pushed for it was a big weekend for auto racing in general. You had F1 up here in
Absolutely.
Canada.
They were on the gun to get it done, and they had to do something. And I'm not blaming NASCAR for it. It's just, as a racing fan, and the O'Reilly series being one of the most entertaining to watch in good races, that was a little bit disappointing. I don't think Ross was good, but I don't think he deserved to win that race. I don't think he had the best car all in all if it was to have good green flag runs.
I think the best car on the green flag was Allmendinger again.
Mhm.
He just had bad strategy there at the end and didn't play out. Had some bad luck. I think he's going to be a championship contender again this year over there, and I look forward to see him hopefully win another championship over there. Big weekend for auto racing in general.
Did you
IndyCar.
did you
Did you
watch
see
the Indy
that?
500? Yeah, I did. what a finish, Rosenquist. What a finish that was. He just stuck it in there and took the draft and the way he went. And yeah, it was a great. And then the photo finish for third, fourth, fifth was unbelievable. It was a good race. I was happy with it. Weather played a factor in that one as well. Unfortunate I was really hoping to see Catherine Legge complete the Indy 500 and at least get completion at the Coca-Cola 600, but she unfortunately, not even a fault of hers. I don't know if you saw the wreck or not, but when the car spun out in front of her, she tried to avoid it. She did everything she could to avoid T-boning. It would have wrecked both cars completely, and she basically wrecked herself to avoid injuring another driver. So hats off to her for a heads-up move in that situation.
Yeah, a huge shout out to her. She's not always in them cars and thinking of the other driver. And, them cars are hard to control, even on iRacing. You turn that wheel just a little bit and it's going around, they're not, they're real easy to snap. It was a very exciting race. I enjoyed it all the way up to then. Yeah, rain played a part in it, like you said, and it took a little bit of I don't know how to say it, a little bit of excitement out of it, but the ending still played out
It,
very well.
it did, but the amount of lead changes, there was like 55 lead changes in the race. The car's draft, unbelievable. In some ways, I think it's almost too good because the guy that's out front is always a sitting duck. There's nothing he can do. Like you got the push to pass and you've got the everything that's there in the draft. There's nothing they can do when you're leading, but it's exciting because every lap you can make another lead change or another draft or a block, and it's a lot of fun to watch, especially when they're 2, 3, 4 wide on some of those restarts and stuff too.
Yeah, that push to pass is something else, and it all depends on how much battery you have there at the end on
Right.
that last lap. And, you could, he was Rosenquist was side by side with his teammate for almost a whole lap.
Hmm. Hmm.
So, pretty exciting. So, there's something new we did this week. We did a little bit of mailbag. We had a question I posted, what was it, Saturday, Sunday? I posted it. We're going to start putting more of these out. They're going to be in the Chop Shop Discord. You can find them. We did this. Which race control feature does iRacing need most for NASCAR? And we had a pretty good majority. Your choices were the choose cone rule, manual lane choice on restart. B, official stage racing mechanics with automated cautions. C, realistic NASCAR specific track limits for road. D, authentic leader control restart zones with loser calls. What was your opinion about that?
I answered this to you when you put it up the other day, but
You did.
as a racer in iRacing, I want to be able to I want the choose clone rule and the manual restarts. I want that to be manual lane choices on the restarts. I want that to be something as a racer. It needs to happen. I want us to be able to choose lanes, high, low, whatever. But as somebody as part of a league or as a league director or somebody doing points, the official stage racing mechanics and automated cautions is something that I think would be great for any league, any race admin, helps with race controlling if that's already done. So you don't have to go back through, watch the replays, see who's actually leading in those positions, when the yellow came out, all that kind of stuff. So I think the official mechanics for the automated cautions is the best for a league. As a driver, I want to see the choose cone.
So, like I was saying, you can find this in the Discord of Chop Shop. We will have the Discord tagged in the link below. There was 8 votes. 88% went with the cone rule. 13% or 13%, which was 1 vote, went with stage racing mechanics. Which one I would like to see first would be A, but I would like to see them all eventually. I think the choose cone rule would be really easy and helpful for the leagues. And then the stage racing would also be nice to have. Maybe we would get more stages. Maybe not. Who knows? But it's all beneficial. Like I said, we're going to do these every week. I'm actually going to be putting up a new one tomorrow, and we're going to run it through Sunday. Don't know what I'm going to put up or what Jason might put up, but make sure you get out there and vote on that. We, uh, we're putting in the time to try to create new things
I'm
to
gonna put up a
integrate you
poll. I'm gonna
guys.
put up a poll to see whether people actually like our show or not. No, well, we don't want to hear that. We don't want the negative stuff, or whether
Actually, we do need a poll like
or
that down the
if they
road.
want us to stay. But yeah, speaking of that, our mailbag. If anybody's watching this, if you have any questions or comments on the Discord, please comment in our section. We will do everything we can to answer questions on the show. With our new helping the producer, Michael Bollinger, he'll be taking in and receiving those and letting us know, and he'll be asking us questions. If anybody has any news, comments, video clips that they want to share that we can put on, could be a viewer post of the week. Maybe it's if you're a Chop Shop member and you won an official race, send that to us so we can give you a shout out that you won an official race this week or you won in another league. We can do that for you as well. We also want to make a little announcement coming up in July. Chop Shop is going to stretch its legs a little bit and add another series. We are going to be starting in sometime in July, to be determined when it's going to start, but it should be Thursday nights from what I've heard. We are announcing an official 1987 series with the 87 cars in iRacing, and it will be done to the exact points system that was done in 1987. Official 1987 or 1980s paint jobs and numbers, official numbers, paint jobs. So it'll be a type of throwback series. You'll see cars that you've recognized on TV before, drivers, etc. So if I pick 52 like I normally do, I am racing basically as Jimmy Means from Jimmy Means Racing, and I'll be racing a number 52 just because I love that number. Yeah, so we're going official points, throwback schedule, racing pretty much every track that we could from back then. I think the only ones that's missing is Riverside, so we're trying to do something alternate for that. Proper point standings, no stages, no lucky dogs,
no wave rounds.
No waiver rounds. We're trying, I think right now we're working on getting the official weather from 1987 at each track that we're going to run the weather, what exactly it was at that time. But all the races will be in the daytime because there wasn't really any night races back then. So it's, it'll be fun. It'll be hot. It'll be cars sliding around, long races. So yeah, I'm expecting this to be a good series. I'm not sure if you're signed up for it, Dove, but I am, and I am looking forward to it. This is something I've been wanting to do a long time. Do I expect to be good at it? No, there's some guys. I know there's going to be some ringers come in. Brian Rayburn's got his whole crew of 87 dudes coming in to probably whoop our butts, but I'm looking forward to it, and I'm looking forward to running these cars. They're absolute blast. I love old school racing. I grew up watching this kind of stuff, so it's fun for me, and I love the real racing part of it. None of this gimmick stages, kind of stuff. Even though I do enjoy stages in the Cup stuff because it allows me to get a chance to reset and for strategy in these races right now and figure out what Nate's doing, so I know what to do next. So it's
going to be really exciting. Like if Nate runs a series, like it's going to be exciting to see how he adapts to this. Yeah. We're going to see if he's truly an alien of iRacing.
Well, he is. He absolutely is.
We already know he is, but
he's gonna the first couple races he's gonna burn stuff up, and then he's gonna figure it out, and he will be. I mean, Nate has some of the best throttle and steering control that I've seen in a lot of. I've been doing this stuff for a long time, and I know Chop Shop isn't the league of all leagues. I mean, it's a wonderful league, and we've got some really good drivers in this league, and there's other drivers out there. But Nate compares to a lot of those guys, and we've got some other ones that do, like Tyler Dalton, Brandon Banks. But those guys can run with some of the top guys out there. So there's no slouches in this league, so I'm happy to be a part of it, and I'm happy to be able to run up with those guys. And same with yourself. Like there's some good dudes in this Chop Shop. So hats off to all the guys at Chop Shop and the admins for running a great league, that we have great guys and we don't have to have a bunch of egos in here running the league. So it's kind of nice.
Yeah, we got a great group of guys. It's a family. Since like I'm an OG, I've been here since almost day one. It's come a long way. John and Stryker have done a phenomenal job. Mm-hmm. They're great people. They give you a hard time. They'll bust your balls and give you a hard time. If they're not busting your balls, they're not your friend. And they make it great to be around everybody. Like me and Day, Day came in a couple years ago, and
a few years ago, yeah.
We really started to get to know each other as recently, and especially doing this podcast together. And it's very fun. We were on the phone the other day, and I said, your Canadian accent comes out a little bit stronger. It was kind of hilarious,
I'm just trying to fool everybody here that I'm not actually Canadian, but I need to put a Canadian flag in the background so you guys know that I'm the one Canadian member right now. Well, I guess there's Chris Roberge, but I'm the only one right now currently running. So
yeah, so
it's fun to be the only Canadian sometimes. It's fun to be up there.
You Canadians just race nicer, I think. You got to be more aggressive.
We're too nice. We say sorry way too much.
Yes. There's a Canadian accent. I just heard it. I just heard it. It came out. We're going to bust each other's balls every week. You know, we're going to have a good time. If you guys are enjoying this, make sure you click the like button and stuff. You know, it's very helpful to feedback. And, you know, if you guys come in, want to be a part of this and stuff, I'm also doing solo interviews with drivers, trying to get more drivers out there. If you're interested in that, make sure you get a hold of me. If you want to do one with Jason, Jason will probably be
Absolutely.
willing to do it.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, Bollinger came on to do a little, help us with producing and throwing slides up. Thank you, Bollinger. We're going to get better at
Appreciate it.
this. We want to give a big shout out to a lot of our sponsors before we get our final thoughts. And unless you got something else you want to do before that.
No, I just was going to say the same thing as you. I just, yeah, thanks to Michael for coming out and being this intern producer, and hopefully it works into a full-time position for him, and we'll get a better script and get this going. Again, like I said, any comments, questions, send them to the Discord. Let us know. If you have some ideas for the show, let us know. We'll put them on. If you feel like you want to be a guest on the show, you got something to say, you got a big announcement, big sponsorship, anything, come on, let us know. We'll bring the breaking news. I've got a couple new ideas. Dub's going to do the individual podcasts with drivers so we can get an in-depth, longer interview, learn a little bit about them. I've got a little idea I talked to Brad about the other day. Instead of the old MTV cribs, we're going to be doing the chop shop rigs, and I'm going to be touring some of your guys' houses virtually. I'm going to be touring some of your guys' houses. You better clean up your mess and put away all your junk. But I want to see your rigs, and I want to tour some of your houses. That's coming up. That's going to be a new feature part of Chop Shop Weekly, and I'm yes, you Bollinger. He's just typed on here, but he's probably got the messiest sim rig room I've ever seen. So he's got to clean his too. But we're going to be touring your sim rig, and I'm looking forward to. I don't know how many members we've got in Chop Shop right now, but I plan on getting to know every one of you and seeing all of your rigs, including mine. And yeah, so that's shout out to everybody. Please like and share our Chop Shop Weekly. Go to Chop Shop TV, like that. Check out Signature Esports, VBR Racing with Michael's
over 90, by the way.
Over 90. Oh, that's good. I'm going to do them all. That's good. VBR Network, that's Michael Bollinger's racing network. He did our ARCA series, did a fabulous job with that. I'm happy to say, which we talked about, I was the ARCA series champion, so I'm the first champion on Michael Bollinger's league, or series, TV series, so that was good. Yeah, so
we would like to give a shout out to our sponsors real quick. Dove Farm LLC, Frago Paints, C2 Gaming, My Three Brothers, Track Racer, Baller Status, Speedy Trophy, Admin Box, Stay Tuned Sports, Premier Racing Setups, where you can get all your setups that you want. You know, they're very phenomenal setups. They're really good with dirt. The guy that owns it is a real dirt racer. He races sports modified up here in New York. MC Graphics, Hoosier, what is that one? Thor, I can't see what that one is exactly.
I don't have it up, so I can't help you right now.
Thorpe and Podcast. That don't sound right. The Chop Shop Podcast, basically. Chopping Up Podcast. Chop Shop Weekly, ourself. C Plus Shops, LTX, and MC Graphics again. You know, we couldn't do it without them. You know, without these guys, we wouldn't be able to have a league. We got to thank all of them.
Right. Broadcasting is expensive, and running a league is expensive as well. So thanks to shout out to all of them, all the sponsors for helping us out. And if you're interested in sponsoring the show or a race, contact us at Chop Shop or Michael Strickland or John Hammond. If you're interested in maybe sponsoring a race, sponsoring a fastest lap, a hard charger, the Dove Bomb, we could use a sponsor for the Dove Bomb Award. Yeah, or this show. Please just give us a like, support us, and yeah, just I guess that's pretty much a wrap this week, Brad. But just thanks for everybody watching, and thanks for you for doing everything you do. Thanks to Bollinger. Thanks to everybody at Chop Shop for putting on this wonderful league that we all race in, and I'm just happy to be a part of it. And I feel like we're getting better every week, and just like our racing, we're going to get better at this every week and get faster and faster, and not bore you as much with all our small talk.
Yeah, we're going to get better at this. Like last week's, we're definitely better than last week. I'm sorry for laying it on you last week a little bit. It's always fun getting on here. Yeah, we ran a little long tonight. We're going to try to keep it within a time limit from now on, like we said before. We're getting better at it, but we got a little bit more. We're going to add some. It might run a little longer here and there. But, we appreciate everyone that comes out and watches us. And, Jason, your final thoughts.
Final thoughts, probably last week for the LCC hat. They're in the championship game right now, but they are losing, unfortunately. They were the second. They're losing 12-2 right now in the bottom of seventh, my son's college team. But to make it to the finals in the Northwest Division is pretty impressive. So I'm happy with them either way. And so that's the end of their baseball season, and he'll be home in a few more weeks. So I'm excited to see him since I haven't seen him since Christmas. So that part will be good. I'll be happy to have my boy home, and he'll be playing some ball here, so I can watch him play around here for a little while. So I'll break out a different hat next week, and we'll try something new. Maybe somebody wants to sponsor me and give me a new hat each week. That would be great. Final thoughts. Looking forward to a big week of Chop Shop for myself. Need a good run in the trucks in all the series. Look, I think it's going to be good tracks, good racing for everybody, and hope everybody had a really good Memorial Day weekend. I had to work today. The rest of you guys probably all had it off. And yeah, that's about all I have to say.
Got one question for you, Jason.
Absolutely.
Tell everybody where you got that flag and where you got that little sign that you had on in your pictures, the 52 picture, the 52 number.
Which
your
flag?
Up there behind you, right behind you.
The 52?
Yep.
So that's not a flag. That's an actual door off a late model race car. Jeff Morris, who drives locally here, that's a door off of his late model race car. I don't know if you can see in the background, there's just underneath it, there's looks like 3 sevens on a trophy in the background back there. Yeah. So that's a trophy I won in an iRacing race with a bunch of local guys here that all did real racing with myself. And that was for winning a race at the Bull Ring in Las Vegas. And winning, Jeff Morris had built this trophy for us. So when I went to his shop to get the trophy, I said, "Hey, do you got any door panels laying around? I'd like to put one on my sim rig." And this was years ago. And he had a 52 blue. And I said, "Well, that's sweet because my online number is 52 and I like the blue. So can I have it?" And he said, "Absolutely." So I've had it ever since. So it used to be the door on my actual sim rig. And then when I built my new sim rig 4 or 5 months ago, I didn't know what to do with the door. And I decided to put it up on the wall. It's got LED lights in behind it now. So when the lights are off, it glows in behind the door on the wall. So yeah, that's where the flag. So it's not a flag; it's an actual metal late model door with a real tire mark on the door. That's an actual tire mark.
So that's something new we learned about Jason Day's setup this week. It's not a flag; it's a door. Plus, he's got this little cool 52 sign that he showed us in his picture.
Yeah, it's on the other side. Yeah,
if he flips his camera around, we'll be able to see. And
we'll show you on the rig some night. But yeah, my living by myself. My sim rig is in my living room, so it's a little different than most setups. And someday I hope to have a dedicated room for my rig. But yeah, it's in my living room right now.
So mine's actually in the dining room. So yeah, if I were to spread the camera, y'all kitchen. So
we saw it earlier. Your wife had to get something out of the
fridge. It happens sometimes. It's going to happen. But we appreciate every single one of you. Like we said earlier, my final thoughts are: I need a great week in every series. I need to bounce back in the Xfinity Series at Bristol. I know I can be strong there with if I'm smart about things, I can do it. I think I can pull off a win there. I pulled off a win a few years ago when we went there. Maybe I can be a surprise and not be on Jason's radar and sneak up and pull off a win. It'd be awesome. I've got one win in New Hampshire, and we're going to try to go for another one.
Good luck to you, buddy. And yeah, one other final thought, just with the whole Kyle Busch thing. It's a sad thing, but for all of us, you just never know. Life is short. Let's and things are happening all over the world, but try to live every day as much as you can, and love all the people that are around you, and just show everybody how much you appreciate them. And like Kyle said on that last win, he said, "Why does it mean so much?" He says, "Just because you just don't know if this is going to be your last." And all of us need to just live that sense that you never know. So live every day the fullest, and show everybody how much you love them every day as you can.
Yeah, enjoy life for the fullest, live it to its fullest. We appreciate every single one of you. Hope y'all have a great week and enjoy watching Jason's stream. And we might see Bollinger at Talladega. So if he's there, it's going to be a fun show. We appreciate him again stepping up and helping us a little bit with the podcast. We're going to get better each and every week, and we appreciate every single one of you.
And we'll show his face one of these nights.
Yes, we will. We will let him come in.
We will let him come
Mailbag, and we will let you guys see him, and we'll have a little fun with him. We'll let him have a little fun. His prediction is he's going to win tomorrow. So if there's a huge surprise winner tomorrow,
If you win, Bollinger, you can run the show next week. If you
yes,
win,
if you win, we
tomorrow,
will let you run.
we will let you run the show next week, and you can be on air with us, live on air with us next week if you win the race.
Yes.
Yeah. So thanks to everybody for coming out. This has been Chop Shop Weekly. I'm Jason Day, and
I'm Brad Dove.
Thanks, guys, for watching.
Yeah. Yeah. Monday at the chop shop, hood up, eyes low, 2 cars in the bay, and the whole block knows. Rumors in the morning, they spread like fire. Who got the faster line? Who got the tighter tire? I seen you on the screen, clean hands, hard stare. Virtual track, but the pressure's still there. I racing nights, you ghosting through the bend. One bad break move and the whole thing in. Come on, keep it in line. Side to side, no room, no time. Hear that crowd talk, hear that hate. One small slip and you make it wreck. Chop Shop Weekly, we come back mean. Side to side, we live that speed. Chop Shop Weekly, bad blood loud. One more lap and the roof comes down. Chop Shop Weekly, we gon' blink, don't freeze. Chop Weekly, run with the bees. Friday night, same names, new grudge, old talk, new scars, same cold judge. You wanna race clean, but the story gets bent. One click too close, now the whole thing went. Wheel to wheel and the mirrors all blur. He cut your lane like he wanted the bird. Engine screaming, head full of rage. Everybody got a clip for the feed, next page. I saw the wreck and the replay spin, metal and pride and a twisted grin. And the worst part, they still ask for more, said run it back when they hit the floor. Come on, keep it in line, side to side, no room, no time. Hear that crowd talk, hear that hate. One small slip and you make it wreck. Chop Shop Weekly, we come back mean. Side to side, we live that speed. Chop Shop Weekly, bad blood loud. One more lap and the roof comes down. Chop, we don't blink, don't freeze. Chop Weekly, partying with the bees. Late lap, tense air, hands like steel. Everything fake till the tires feel real. Virtual smoke and a real life spite. Same old hunger every Friday night. They said slow down, I said watch me pass. Tail to nose and I'm built to last.